Hi, my name is Melanie Blanchette, and I'm the Executive Director of the Thunder Bay and District Humane Society. Today I'm here to host a new show called Let's Bark About It, where we hope in the next few months to bring you topics that you're interested in relative to animal talk. So our show aims to be both fun, interactive, and of course informative. So in the next couple of months, we're going to ask that you submit topic suggestions, any questions that you may have in regards to the show that you've just seen or any upcoming shows. We want to bring you topics that you're interested in, topics that the audience want to talk about. So today, I have with me a guest from the Humane Society, Jeremy Gardiner. Jeremy Gardiner is one of our animal welfare investigators in the Northwestern region. So basically, he's our furry superhero. Yeah. Not just because of the beard, but actually a furry superhero.
Well,
so, Jeremy, thanks for coming today.
No, thank you.
I just want to talk to you a little bit about what it is that you do. So, if you can tell me, what's your role in the community and your title?
Okay, so I'm an agent with the Ontario SPCA, and I work out of the Thunder Bay District Humane Society. So our role is to investigate animal cruelty and neglect of animals. So animal cruelty is, intentional cruelty, like hitting their dog or striking their dog and stuff like that, where the neglect comes from lack of proper food, water, care, and shelter, and lack of medical attention.
So you said you're with the OSPCA. What is the OSPCA?
So the OSPCA is the Ontario Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, and they've been in effect since 1870. So we've been around for quite a while.
So they're like the provincial government.
Provincial government, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the area that you service, because it's not just yourself, and it's not just a small area.
Yes, for sure. So we cover from White River to the Manitoba border, and we figured it out. It was about 564,000 square kilometers. So good thing we just got another agent on this year, so we can split the workload there.
I think you said that's the size of the state of Arizona.
It's actually the size of 2 states. I think it was
right.
There's a couple, yeah. So it's pretty big. So
that's
for
a
2
vast
people,
region.
Yeah.
So and then it's yourself and another agent, a new agent, Camille.
Camille, yes.
Great. So you guys work together as a team.
Yes.
So what does a day in the life of an agent look like?
Wow. So yeah, we could. So like we spoke before, like we could get like 9 calls a day. So we are pretty busy. So a lot of our calls are, people calling in for, dogs without proper shelter, that kind of stuff, or, cruelty. So we do a lot of cruelty stuff as well, which is unfortunate. So we do have a few cases before the courts right now. So we're just, it's a long process for sure.
So these are the typical calls that you would respond to.
Yeah.
So what's the process when you basically respond to a call, and then to the point where it gets to actual charges being laid? Can you tell me how? Okay,
so we're dispatched through 310 SPCA. It's a 24/7 call center, and it's based out of Newmarket. So with the provincial funding, we were able to get that going in the last couple of years. So we have dispatchers that are trained to screen calls, whether it is neglect or cruelty. So once it's determined that it is something that we would attend to, so then they would dispatch us through email and give us where the call is. So we would attend based on whatever the call is, and we start an investigation there. So with the SPCA, what we try to do is we're more about educating the public. So what we can do is we can issue orders under the OSPCA Act. So they would have to, get medical attention, change the food up, and we try to work with that with the best we can. So when it comes into further for charges and stuff, that's when people are non-compliant. So after we've given non-compliance, and we can issue revocations as well, and modifications to those orders. We can work with them that way. So when it comes into issues when they don't comply with those orders, and that under the SPCA gives us grounds to remove animals. So, and then if charges for non-compliance.
And charges take some time in front of the courts as soon as it's.
Yes, they do. They do.
Right?
So yeah, I have one case before the courts right now in regards to some starving animals, and I've been in court 6 times already. So
a few
it takes
months.
Takes a while, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges that you face in your role, just with such a vast region that you cover?
I think the biggest challenges for us is prioritizing calls. Like how do you say this one's more important than the other? So you really, after time, I know when I first started it was really difficult because you want to get to all of them, right. But you got to balance that. So So you don't want to weigh one dog over another or a horse or whatever. So that's probably the difficult part.
And
It's a lot easier now with 2 people for sure.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
for quite some time you were doing this all by yourself.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why I did say that you are our furry superhero.
Yes, for sure, yeah.
So we had a pretty exciting weekend this weekend at the Humane
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it
Society.
was a
Do you want to
busy
tell me a
weekend.
little bit about that?
Okay, so this weekend, so another thing that we do rescues, and so one of the rescues is a partnership with, this one was involved with Welland Humane Society, North Bay District Humane Society in Sarnia. So what happened is animal control officers out of the North Bay area drove up, as long with some SPCA people are flown up, some techs and stuff, and we drove up to the Kenora district and we were able to remove 63 animals. So, and that's a partnership with Beat the Heat Kenora as well. They're a volunteer organization, rescue out of Kenora. So we were able to go in and speak with the Bound Council, which is done ahead of time, and we were able to remove animals before the winter months.
So now all of these dogs are going to Southern Ontario
Yeah.
because, surprisingly, unlike here in Thunder
Yeah.
Bay, their shelters are quite empty.
Yes, exactly. So down south, they don't have the high numbers of animals for us and unwanted pets. So we were able to transfer them down south. So actually, I just got news they're leaving in about 20 minutes from the North Bay shelter.
Yep.
So they're housed the other night, and they got their medical care, and now they're being transported down to Welland and Sarnia area.
So they're hungry for animals for adoption down there.
Yeah, and down there they got so many shelters, so they can distribute them like
Yeah.
where us, where we just get full and full. So we were able to get rid of some of our cats as well. So they're looking for cats down there. So it worked out good. and
They're
I guess-
looking for
yeah.
cats.
They're
Wow.
looking for
Well, the
cats.
Humane Society in
Yeah.
Thunder Bay here is
Yeah.
the place to get a cat.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so if anybody in the community sees a concern or has a concern about the safety and the welfare of an animal, so what is it that they should do?
Okay. So what we ask is, we definitely need an address and just as much information as you can get to our dispatchers. When you call the 310-7722 number, you give them enough details. So it gives us enough to start the investigation. Because a lot of this stuff's anonymous too, so if we don't have enough details, it's hard to even start an investigation, because sometimes we'd like to speak to the complainant as well, just to get a little bit more details. So the more details you can get us, the better, for sure.
Okay. So people have been encouraged to, take photos, document times, just as much information as they can gather, and then call 310 SPCA, which is 310-7722.
Yes.
So basically, it's like phoning 911 for animals.
Yeah, basically, same as we get dispatched, same as the OPP and the city police. So, so the calls go into our dispatcher, and then they distribute it throughout the province.
They're
or the
dispatched
region.
directly to you.
Right to my phone. Yeah.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay, well, thank you, Jeremy. When we come back, we are going to continue talking to Jeremy about basically the cold weather safety tips for animals and how to build the proper shelter.